but in Sonic 2, there were some cinematics. There was a lot of drama there too, with the song "Sweet Dreams" playing during the credits. That song alone brought in a lot of drama. That just lets you know something deep happened here. Yes, there's no voices acting it out, telling you what just happened, and even in the Mario games, there's drama. So that's not necessarily a fact. Fans will come up with reasons to make the classics seem like they're in a different universe or a different genre, basically, because that's their favorite and they're overly nostalgic. I'm a huge nostalgic fan, but I'm not overly nostalgic. My thing is, I like new ideas, I like new concepts, within reasoning. I guess what I'm trying to say is, no, I cannot let that go. You touched a nerve there. The thing is, like, the 3D games, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Heroes, they are within canon, and they have their lighthearted moments, but essentially they are hardcore. Sega itself is hardcore. Sonic 1, it wasn't hardcore. It was kind of in between. It was like it was trying to find its ground. It was like lighthearted, but at the same time, it had its hardcore undertones. That's why we see the dark stages with all the metal. He's imprisoning animals inside of robots. What's lighthearted about that, for crying out loud? That's inhumane. That's a crime against nature right there. In Sonic 2, things got even darker. Chemical Plant is a dark stage. One of my favorite stages, of course, but it's very dark, very hardcore. You can drown. There's just so much going on. Sonic 3, the hardcorest of them all. And Knuckles, of course, Sonic 3 Knuckles. It has so much going on. So many cinematics. There's all this determination. There's a supersonic ending. And then it just goes on and on and on. The lightheartedness that we see in Sonic Colors, it lacked the dark feel that we're used to seeing. It lacked the hardcoreness because Sonic broke the fourth wall. Now, of course, that's not the only reason why, but I'm just throwing an example. They went over the top. That's why so many people complain that this wasn't Sonic Colors. This was Sonic Galaxy. This is Sonic's answer to Mario Galaxy. And that is something that I cannot agree with. But I'm sorry to be so long-winded, but I'm really passionate about that.
Yeah, I definitely understand your point. Because of this, there's much more separate, broken down in the fan base. It's because that people did enjoy the game story from the adventure games, and yes, there have been kind of similarities from Heroes to 06 stories with the adventure games, as how people describe it. But for me, it was like it was definitely perfectly executed in the adventure games, and it kind of stayed en route to canon. But then with Unleashed, yes, it is a part of the actual kind of darkness, hardcore feeling. And then when it came to Colors, it was the appreciation of not putting the story out too seriously, as you pointed out, and that like many people who wanted from Sonic is not to have much of a serious storyline as what Colors displayed out, and that's why it became a great success, that they didn't have to put much more emphasis on the story. As you've seen from critics as well, is that of course that the 2D gameplay was back within the 3D, and it probably gave out much more a greater balance of 2D over 3D, even though it was still called a 3D game. And like the sense of direction has changed dramatically ever since 5 years ago with 2006 falling out. And yeah, there has been a great change in Sonic, and yeah, there has been a very split change that you don't like these type of stories now they're bringing out, and many fans as of today love the stories that they're bringing out. And it kind of intrigues me that where are these fans coming from? Like, are they coming from
grown?
Exactly.
Like, as I said, that Nintendo grown. Like, are they coming from like the GameCube era? Like, and as of like recently found out is that many fans have been starting off with Sonic Adventure 2, not as the Dreamcast version, but as a GameCube version, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Yeah.
That was Sega's worst mistake they had ever made, was releasing 2 battles 6 months after Adventure 2.
Worst mistake ever. I agree. Jim, do you want to handle this one, or you want me to take this?
Ah, you can go.
Okay, first of all, Blue, you asked these political questions. Oh my gosh.
Well, I guess we could just make it much more interesting instead of like going all orgasming over my favorite stage of quite through it. Well, if you want me to actually go through that, we can talk about it.
No. Okay, check this out. Sonic Adventure 2, probably one of the most epic games in Sonic's history. Probably, I'm hoping it won't be the last. You know, it's definitely the most epic. I think anyone in this Let's Play right now will agree. I think anyone watching this Let's Play will probably agree. The thing is, when Sonic made his first appearance on a Nintendo console, you have all these Nintendo fans that are used to all this frilly lightheartedness, rescue the princess, grab the flowers, you know, the play the magic flute, you know, all those little kitty, which is great for them. It's great for me even. I enjoy some of that sometimes. But keep your Sonic out of my Mario is how I feel about it. Keep your Mario out of my Sonic is how I feel about it. I don't want to see Mario toting guns, walking up in this place like I'm gonna shoot somebody. You know, I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Shadow with that, because I know that Sega has that hardcore thing about them. But I don't condone Shadow with guns either. But that's another Let's Play, another discussion.
Yeah.
But my point is, they're used to a certain way of doing things. So by the time Sonic Adventure 2 came out, they're like, wow, this is awesome. You know, they loved it. They ate it up. That's where a majority of the Shadow fanboys come from, and fangirls especially. And then, you know, over the years, they kind of feel like Sonic's irrelevant. Sonic became more kiddie, starting with Sonic Heroes, believe it or not. Some of the dialogue, they changed Tails' voice with this little kid, you know, with the stuffy nose, which is okay. I'm not against the kid. You know, things started moving away from the seriousness in the Sonic series and moved towards the lush green hill, you know, thing, where that's pretty much what the whole entire game is about. Luckily, Sonic and Shadow have some dialogue that change that in the end, and Metal Sonic is there. Now, if you have Metal Sonic in any Sonic game, it's not a kid game. Metal Sonic is like the most hardcore character in the Sonic series, in my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
His demonic red eyes, just, come on. What kid? No. I'm sorry. You're asking for nightmares. So, that being said, you got Sonic 06, which they said, okay, we're gonna retake this thing. We're not gonna pretend like we're on a Nintendo console and we don't know what we're doing anymore. We're gonna act like we have a home, and we're gonna redo this thing. We're gonna be hardcore. And they did that. You know, perhaps they did it too much. I don't know. Some fans seem to think so. I don't have an opinion on that. I just play the game. But it was dark, it was adult. Sonic dies. Mephiles is freaking evil as I don't know what. Iblis is scary. You know, they brought it back. It was hardcore. The fans didn't like that. They kind of let the problems of the game cloud their judgment of the game. You know, where they said, "Oh, this
exaggerated problem."
Exactly. They said that, because, you know, they kind of said, because this one stage was glitchy, that makes this entire concept bad. I never want to see it again. I never want to see Hope World, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work that way. You know, it just not work that way. You have to separate the issue from the freaking issue. You know? But anyway, moving from Sonic 06, we have Sonic Unleashed, which to me was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. It was actually fun to play. It's not my favorite, but I liked it. I liked the game overall. It was kiddie, but only because of Chip. They threw all that kid stuff inside of Chip, And then in the end, Chip actually becomes a key part of the story, and he just hardcores it out. They changed him from like this kitty little Chip to like hardcore god Colossus. And that to me was a huge shocker because I'm like, whoa, what's going on with the Sonic series? But I enjoyed that. And then we go to Sonic Colors, and it's like, what happened here? And then everybody loves it. This is what I don't understand.